Hey everyone, it's Joe Bartle from RotoWire. Today I wanted to go over the idea of fading the quarterback position almost entirely. Now, we're going to probably play it out to the extreme. There are possibly times during this mock draft example where you'll say, no, I'm going to take this quarterback instead, and we can at least go over them a little bit, but I wanted to play out the idea of waiting to be one of the very last or overall last teams to take a quarterback and what that roster would look like. I'm using the RotoWire mock draft tool available on the RotoWire site for free if you have a login to RotoWire. And if you want to get into this further, you can use the mock draft assistant as well, where it logs everyone's picks. You can follow along to see who ends up taking a quarterback a little bit early on if you want to. You must have a RotoWire subscription in order to use the draft assistant tool. And again, YouTube 15 gets you 15% off the RotoWire subscription right now, so go ahead and check that out. But using the mock draft tool, I kind of wanted to go over this whole exercise. What happens and what roster do you get if you fade the quarterback position? As you can see, I clicked on the mock draft tool. You can implement whatever draft settings you might want. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and go team number 6. That's what I'll be drafting. We'll go full point PPR because I think that's going to matter for a lot of these different leagues. 0 super flex settings, 0 things like that. We'll go 3 receivers as well. So typically, if you're going to do a fading quarterback strategy, it's because you have to take so many X amount of positions, whether it be running back or receiver or multiple flexes, whatever else, that it's viable to go ahead and do that. So again, no super flex listing there, 3 receiver sets. We'll go ahead and kind of see what this looks like from that. Now, you can have these different draft plans. Again, that's part of the draft assistant tool that we put together. For this example, I'm just going to go ahead and use the choose me, but it's one of those things I want you guys and encourage you guys to go ahead and use with the mock draft tool and draft assistant. You'll see right away it zooms to pick number 6. We have a degree of variance where both Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs is left, and the system right now is prioritizing taking receivers because there are 3 receivers that are expected to start. Makes complete sense. I think in this example, Bijan Robinson falling to 6 is one of the better spots. We'll go ahead and take that pick right now. Now coming back into the second round, again, more running backs available. You can see the A.J. Browns and Drake Londons just went off the board. I would have loved a scenario where I could have had either one of those at my spot here if I'm trying to fade the quarterback. But if by choosing to fade quarterback, you're allowing yourself to have the best roster possible. And I think much in the same way teams draft best player available in NFL drafts, I think you should be thinking the same process too. Best player available. Now, you'll see the suggested for you has someone like Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs. I like both of those over the receivers in this range. Lai McConkey, Tyreek Hill, even Bucky Irving in a full point PPR league makes a lot of sense. And if you scroll down further, as you can see, we have all the different positions. Lamar Jackson, number 1 still. No quarterbacks have been taken in this draft, which makes sense as a mid-second round selection. We'll go ahead and take Josh Jacobs to continue on with this best player available trend, but more importantly, not taking a quarterback and seeing how long and what that means for my roster. We come back now with the receivers. Garrett Wilson's an obvious call in my mind as the 3rd round selection. Likely going to be piling on receivers at this point in the draft, given we went back-to-back running back to start. That's another video in itself. If you choose to start running back, I don't really like those sort of builds. When you have Bijan Robinson and Josh Jacobs fall to you at the ADP, I think it makes a lot of sense. So again, just trying to pile on receivers. I love DK Metcalf this year. He's probably one of my favorites. Go ahead and take him in a full point PPR setting and just hope that I get one of these guys to fall, like we just did with Courtland Sutton, who was available in the previous pick. I ended up making him here. And again, if you look at the rosters that we have at the moment, Team 6, Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, 3 really good receivers. You'll notice some quarterbacks now going off the board, and I'll be very curious to see what ends up happening as we go throughout this mock draft, what the RotoWire mock draft tool will recommend, and at what point does it make sense for us to take a quarterback. We're going to fast forward through these picks a little bit. All right, we're round 10 right now, and you're getting to see the queue start suggesting a lot of these quarterbacks. Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams are 3 of the top 4 suggested. You look a little bit further down here, chance that these guys are going to be gone. Justin Herbert, Colston Loveland, for example, Brock Purdy, all likely available. Brock Purdy sitting at quarterback 9. In my mind, this is not fading quarterback enough. Like, I want to play this out to the extreme, what this looks like. You'll already see that a lot of these teams have went crazy at the quarterback spot. There's only 2 teams left that don't have a quarterback, Team 6, myself, and then Team 8 in this mock draft example. You can go ahead and look at the draft board and see how everything is played out with that as well, too. That's one of the great tools that you have in the mock draft ability, as well as look at the draft board that's happening. So we're going to, again, continue to try to wait at that running back spot. I just took Tucker Kraft in one of mine. We saw that Colston Loveland likely not on the board next, so we'll go ahead and take Colston Loveland and hope that pairing of tight ends will make a lot of sense. We had a run at quarterback with Brock Purdy going in the 10th round. You had some kickers as well, too, not at this point in the draft, which makes sense. We're waiting this long for a reason. We'll keep adding more depth at running back. We'll take my guy Trey Benson, for example, and we are almost now to the point where I think it makes sense. Again, I am the last team now that has not taken a quarterback. The options available, I think, are really, really interesting, and I'll look at the total rosters here in a second, but somebody like Justin Fields is one of my favorite preferred fading quarterback selections. Yes, the dislocated toe early in training camp might make a difference. And in 6-point per passing touchdown leagues, maybe it doesn't matter because I don't know how much Fields is actually going to throw the football. But running, when he's a guaranteed starter, like I think he will be for the Jets, Fields is one of my favorite high upside plays. And more importantly, we'll take Fields there. You can come right back and get a lot of other quarterbacks that are probably safer, whether that be Trevor Lawrence, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy. A Lawrence-Fields pairing is probably one of my favorites right now that you can do if you choose to fade the quarterback position. But let's go ahead and look at this right now, the roster itself. I have Fields as my quarterback, which will likely be weaker than a lot of others. But Bijan, Josh Jacobs, this threesome of receivers with Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Cortland Sutton. You get flex and depth with Etienne and Juwan Jennings, plus a couple other high upside selections in Colston Loveland, Trey Benson. Look at the rest of these teams, though. Like, look at the running backs and receiver pairing. The opportunity that will leave you if you choose to wait a quarterback. You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. But this is one of those scenarios where, again, I'm looking at these rosters, and I think mine really is one of the best if you think Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence on a week-to-week basis can combine to be a top 10 quarterback upside play. So just something to go ahead and check out on the RotoWire mock draft tool. Again, YouTube 15 gets you 15% off subscription to the site. You can go ahead and use the mock draft assistant tool as part of that. That will help you with your live drafts, and it's live syncing with some of your drafts out there too. Make sure you check out that feature. It'll give you all the up-to-date information you need using the insights and board like I was showing here as well too, and it'll help you win your draft this season.